Well, after a month of rest and recuperation, once that piss run clear and my hands stopped shaking, it was time to get suited and booted and back in the saddle. But working without the legend was proving to be a battle. With the old Padfoot still busted and stood down from action, this rental from the southeast was the fleet's newest attraction. But after a week at work, you probably could have guessed there was no 45, and I was far from impressed. So I flew into town to see who's running this circus, so I said if this machine don't go, you'll be losing your workers. Now I love the job, but since I'm stuck in this rental, I just want to get out. It's fucking driving me mental. The aircon's already shit itself and it's 48 degrees and that radio's more scratchy than a working dog with fleas. And even the dials are broken, so there's no tuning the cracker and it's stuck on the ABC, so I've got to spend Sunday mornings with Macca. Now the steering on 45, well she was the one for me. It had the AUX and USB, or even using weather on 4LG. But as for this busted ass roller, it's not worth a dusty brass dollar and its piss poor performance will make your jaw drop. It's rough as guts, the seat busts your nuts and there's a piece of telecom rope for the door lock. And the way the motor keeps choking, I'd say the fuel line's full of shit and I just wish the fucking thing had died so we could push it down a pit. And as for that grinding sound of steel on steel, that couldn't even be fixed with a grease, and now it's got this fucking burning smell, so I'm sure it's gonna seize. And I don't know how they've done it, but even the wheels are fucking wonky. The council are paying for a racehorse and I'm riding a drunken donkey. Now I know some rentals aren't champagne standards, but I'm sure we've got the dregs. There's no rattling bones or shattering stones, cause this bitch can't crack eggs. And with the up and coming deadlines I said we'll strive to achieve, we're gonna need Padfoot 45, and that you must believe. So they got on the phone to give the mechanics a ring and see what they could do, try and pull a few strings, and after a chat they made a final decision. They'd only resurrect the cat on one minor condition. They said, now consider this to be your first and final warning, and you've even got this contract to be signed by morning. It clearly states you're going to kick that habit. No more of this pulling down the steering wheel and jamming the controls to rabbit. So then and there I put pen to paper, I said thank you very much and I'll see you all later, and I headed back to camp to await the repairs, sweating like a long-tailed tom in a room full of rocking chairs. But once that call came through, my heart was pumping. With a brand new engine, the legend was thumping. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the dead was now alive. But this isn't a fairy tale, it's a return of Padfoot 45. And it didn't take long for the old mechanics using a few new tricks, because there's nothing a few rolls of duct tape and WD-40 can't fix. And they went all out with the upgrades, even new paint and flash stickers. If it was a rock star on stage, I reckon the girls would scream and throw knickers. So with these new bulletproof windows, I could see the world clear and whatever was sneaking up behind me with this big electric mirror. And they even gave me a light bar to see the rocks at night. I thought it don't even work in the dark, but fuck me dead, it's bright. And now I don't even have to worry about a rollover. In fact, there'd be no dramas, because they've even fitted SRS airbags and a 5-point racing harness. So now I'm back in the big girl, punching the clock. It's poetry in motion when we're crunching the rock. But I'm still rolling in rabbit because of a bit of a rebel, making the trees drop the leaves and the boulder shit pebbles. But there's no time for a break, no time for a Kit Kat, because there's more fucking rocks than you can poke a fork stick at. And it's hotter than hell in the summer and most smell like they're Cadbury, but not 45, she's just steamrolling Arabic. And you see, when you're working down here, you might not see another soul all day, but it's peaceful and quiet, and that's why we stay. You see, when you're working with teeth and buckets, blades and ties, there's no time for cheap suckers, haters and lies. So me and Nort will just stick with the rollers, living the life, busting boulders, but we don't get kicks out of breaking sticks, we just get a few thrills when we're riding rills. And if you happen to be a tourist just passing through, please read the signs and they'll tell you what to do. But if by chance you give us any trouble, we'll be chewing up your caravan and spitting out the rubble. And if you think we're just council workers moving a rill, well, I'm telling you now that it does take skill. It's the same as heading to bed. It's a bit of an art, because once we wet them and spread them, we'll be laying them hard.